How you doing, vapors? Vape Vapors here. My channel here on Rumble is totally 100% conservative. Now, I'm bringing this video to you today because of the construction of what Rumble is. Rumble is a alternative YouTube site. This is all my opinion. You may have another opinion. And it's basically for you to have an avenue to come here and not really get censored and blocked and thrown off unless you're just doing things stupid that are totally against anybody's toss. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I thought real hard and heavy about how and why most of the vape reviewers from YouTube didn't come over here. And it's either because, and we'll start out with rip trippers. Now, if you're aware of vaping reviews, rip tripper is probably the biggest in the world. Okay, he had some problems, some health issues. He went off for a while, said he stopped vaping, and he came back. And I'll discuss that in a minute. He's not on Rumble. And the reason I'm thinking is just my opinion. Rip Chippers is a far left liberal. Always has been. Although he is a good capitalist, but he's a liberal and he's a Democrat voter in my opinion. He's not going to come to Rumble. Okay? So, let me take a vape here. This is a vaping video, and I thought long and hard whether I was going to do this or not. Okay? But I'm going to. Because that's the way I am. And that's the way all my videos have been. And that's the way all my talk has ever been on my channel about vape review whores. Okay? So, Rip Chippers is not here. I respect Rip Chippers because he was the first person to really bust into the video game in reviews. And he started out with some really crappy vape products. Well, let me tell you, let me give you a little history about me. I've been doing these for 10 years. So the third largest guy on here, Little Bro Vapes, okay, he was established in 2017. So this guy hasn't been around for a while, but they've got him at the top of the list on here. But that's only because the followers on Rumble are low right now on Rumble for vape reviewers. So they're all in like the 150 people following. And I'm going to tell you today why you shouldn't follow them. Okay? And we're going to get to that. Now, let's go back to Rip Trippers. Rip Trippers started out with some really crappy equipment. I started out 10 years ago on YouTube. And mine were all real, just sitting in my own office area. I didn't put up a bunch of fake vape shop canopies around the back here. I didn't try to put things on the wall. Take my word for it, people. If you looked at my desk here, which is a 1950s desk, it's a solid oak. It's with dual slide outs and dual drawers and lockable, everything locks, and it's massive, and it's just filled from end to end with vape devices and e-juices and bins and everything else, very neatly laid out. But I'll get to that. Most of them I don't even use anymore. Don't use them at all. Okay? They're just there for looks, I guess. I guess I should sell them. When did I start vaping? Well, let me tell you when I started vaping. There was a guy, he was an Asian, who invented the e-cigarette. And it looked like a cigarette. And it came out for a short period of time in the convenience stores and gasoline places and truck stops. They were real big in truck stops and things like that, right? And it was just one little cigarette, had a little piece of foam in the back and an atomizer, that would heat up with a little tiny battery in it, and it would heat up, and you would smoke it like a cigarette. And at that point in time, when that Asian guy made that and they went on the market, very little of them. It wasn't regulated or anything like that. I don't even think I remember how much nicotine was in them. But people wanted to look like they had a cigarette and then smoked it. And that was back in the late 80s. Somewhere in that area, right there, 1989, 90. I mean, he invented it, I think, don't hold me to this, but somewhere in 1982 he invented that cigarette, that e-cigarette, okay? So, it fell off and disappeared for a while. I smoked them for months and months to stop smoking cigarettes. And then they fell away. You couldn't get them anymore for a while. And then there was a gap in vaping from 1990 to like 2000. Don't hold me to these years, but somewhere in there. And somebody caught on the idea to make that one little tiny cigarette into a bunch of different kinds of cigarettes and bigger batteries and cases and replacement tips and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they started to grow in the convenience stores and the gasoline places and things like that. And there were cigarettes, e-cigarettes, okay? It didn't matter if they looked like a cigarette anymore. Some of them did, most of them didn't. And some of them were really good. And I used those too. Alright, when they came back out, I went back off of cigarettes and went on those. Alright? So, I vaped on those for a long period of time. And then, all of a sudden, they started to come out with the sub-ohm tanks. Things like that. In that genre. Okay, and mods and e-juices where you could do your own, and I got a lot of those. Okay, and Rip Chipper started in about right about then when that was occurring, and he started out and did some very good reviews. He's not on Rumble about it, and he would blow clouds all the time, and his whole genre for his vape reviews were that he wanted you to quit smoking, and that's the same exact thing that I want you to do. I don't endorse nicotine. I don't have any nicotine in any of my devices, so I'm not going to put a disclaimer up on my website unless Rumble asks me to, because none of my devices have nicotine, and I don't promote nicotine, and I don't want anybody to use nicotine. I want you to quit smoking with vape e-juice that has no nicotine. Okay, with that being said, I'll probably hear from Rumble now about that, but if they want me to put it up, I'll put it up. I don't use it. I'm going to tell you right here. I'm going to tell you, because I don't lie to you. Alright, so Rip Chipper's had some health issues, went away for a while. Autoimmune to something he had. He quit vaping, and now he's back vaping, and he's back doing reviews. This is where I part from Rip Trippers. When he came back, he's always been a corporate whore, because in the beginning he was worth paying and worth having him review because he had the largest people watching him, right? So he came back, he totally went away from what he truly believed, in my opinion, about vaping, and now he's just a corporate whore for pods and little pen devices, which to me, in my opinion, is garbage. Yeah. If you look at my vape videos, I'm all 100% mesh man, and Watofo is the most innovative vape company ever in the industry. Alright, now if you doubt that, okay, then I want you to look up Rip Trippers on YouTube, the largest viewed vape reviewer, and the profile, Watofo profile. He will tell you in that video that it's the best RDA, best vape that he has ever used. Okay? So there you go. The top reviewer in the world. Alright, which I do happen to have right on this one. But this is a 1.5 profile. It's a little larger. They just made them better with Mr. Just Right one. Right? Because they changed the industry with these devices. Alright? So what I'm doing is, I'm doing this video because I want to talk to the guys that are down around on Rumble right now with 50 followers on down. The true vapors, the ones that bought the device and decided they were going to come on Rumble and do a little review of it. And they haven't thought about whether or not they're going to keep on doing it, but I have been doing it for 10 years. I buy them. Alright, nobody sends me, asks me to do their devices on review and then pay you a fee like these other corporate whores do. Alright? And those are the guys down there that are really doing it. And they're using them and they're telling you. And see, I have videos where I go back and I tell you, well, the Dopove graphite dual growth Dopove graphite mod was junk. But these corporate whores, they pushed that for days. TVC pushed it for days, wanted you to buy them for $89, $79, $89, and they knew they were flawed. They knew the bottom doors on them broke in a matter of 2 months, and you were out $80 because you couldn't fix it. And if you think I'm lying, Dopove, come to me and make a video and tell me that you didn't know it. Because right now, if you go on the Chinese websites, you can buy a replacement bottom door for those Dopove duals and single mods. Because when you sat them down on the ground, all the time and in your car and dropping them, put them on the desk and all that, the door just broke. And the whole device was useless. I guess you could have duct taped it together or done something like that. Alright, so I came out and told people about this. Okay, so anyway, Dopove, at the same time, a little bit after they released those two garbage things, they sold millions of them too, by the way, people, and almost all of them broke. I've talked to 5 of my friends that broke.
A, B, C, D.
And went back and told the people that they're crap. Don't use them, even though I reviewed it at the beginning because I bought one. Okay, they were the rage. They were thing to get. Okay, and they worked good, but they broke for $80. I mean, you got ripped off. Some of them were $99. So they came out with this right after that. It was called the topside light. It was a dual function device. All right, see this panel here? All right, this panel. There's another panel that comes with this kit with a squonk bottle. So you put a pin in right here. You put the other thing on that sits out like this with the bottle in it. And your battery there that covers the thing, alright, all the way from there to there. And you can squonk with it. I prefer not to squonk with it, so it's a 21700. It weighs absolutely nothing. It's got a great screen on it. It has no bottom door from TVC Dopove. Okay, you can see their little name there. Everybody knows. Alright, let's hope I can get it in the focus there. Dopove TVC creation. Okay, this was 1,000 times better than that. Okay, and I went on my videos and tried to tell people about it. Okay, this thing is great. I mean, if you want to go somewhere, it's very light in your pocket. You can turn it off with 3 clicks, just like any other mod, and it's one of the best devices. But what they did was they only sold it for about a year, and then it disappeared. It disappeared because they were only charging $49 for this one, but they were charging $100 for the other one. I think they're $120 now for them stupid ass graphene I wouldn't pay a penny for one of them. Okay? And these are not available anywhere. You can't get them anywhere. I wish I could get 10 more of them so I would never have to buy another mod device in my life. And that's fact, people. It's not opinion, it's fact. So, when you go to Rumble, we talk about Rip Chipper's biggest one in the world. He's not here. In my opinion, he's a liberal. He's not going to come on Rumble. I told you what Rumble was about. So at the top, when you go, if you type in vaping in the search engine of Rumble on the homepage, okay, vaping, it takes you to the vape site for vapors reviews, okay, list. And at the top, they put the 5 highest followed people. None of them, I think there's one over 200. The rest of them are under 200. And they start out with vaping with Vic. Vaping with Vic, now he's been around for a while, okay? He's a UK reviewer or Ireland reviewer or somewhere in the UK, okay? And Vaping with Vic is gone to all little pens, little pod devices, all little things like that, because all these little teeny weenies down there are vaping these things, okay, out there in the system, and they're the biggest seller now. And they're absolutely garbage, in my opinion, all of them, okay? Even the pod devices, all that crap that you have to buy all this crap for, it's just unbelievably crap. But they're easily accessible by these teeny beanies and the Gen Zers and Gen Xers that got used to them. And so Vic has gone all corporate whore for those. He never once tells you that, you know what, when the Kyle and M came out, all right, from Bandy Vape back 5-6 years ago, it's still one of the best RTA vaping devices in the entire history of vaping. Mesh. Okay? So, he's turned into a vaping. He's number 1 up on the list on Rumble. Number 2 is the idiot fat pig, Jay Hayes. Okay, Jay Hayes has crawled his little scummy, slimy ass over to Rumble. He's a corporate whore. He has gone to vape pens and little vape things so he can make more money off the corporate whores. Now, he has no numbers on Rumble. I think he's got 198 followers. He shouldn't have one. Okay, he was the biggest promoter that all these devices, most of them were crap. And another point about Jay Hayes is that he absolutely despises mesh strips in devices to vape with. Okay, he's hated them from day one, even though Watofo, Mr. Just Right One, Next Mesh, the mesh strips that Watofo created, the profile, changed the entire vaping world in flavor and for your device, easy build for your RDAs, RTAs, RTDAs. Okay, in fact, they even went to mesh in the coils, wrapping them inside the coils for some of them things. And Jay Hayes just hates mesh. Okay, because he's an antagonist. He just likes to bitch about things and whine. So what happened to Jay Hayes is, and he'll probably try to attack me now. Oh, some little vape reviewer, he's saying things about me. I don't give a shit, Jay Hayes, about you. Well, you know what's wrong with you, Jay Hayes? Now you have to promote your hot babe who has a hot body, little redhead, in order to promote your channel, because it's not about you anymore. And this idiot, let me tell you people, idiot, look on his vape reviews and find the one where he's dressed in a man bikini. A man bikini. Swimming in a pool with his little hot red-headed girl in her bikini. Okay? And guess what they both have in their hands? Little vape pens. Little vape pens that Jay Hayes hated all his career reviewing. Little Jay Hayes promoting the Corperate Horde piece device that sucks. And there it is in his hand. And what is he wearing? What is he wearing? I didn't even look at the man, the big fat blob. I was looking at his girl. I hope he knows that. Alright? Because I'm looking at your girl. If she ever needs a place to go, bring her on over, Jay. Okay? Okay, enough of Jay Hayes, the pig. Alright. Next one's DJ LSB vapes. Okay? Now, I've always liked this guy. And kinda. And I'll get to why I don't like him either. At the top of that rumble list across the squares. Alright, let me take a vape first. No bottom door on this one. Not from profile. Not from Smog. No bottom doors no more from Smog for these profile squonker dual device squonk mod or mod. See, that's innovation, people. Alright. Now all the smoke haters come out. It's one of the best mods ever made right here. This profile mod squonker. So DJ LSB vapes. I've always liked him because he took everything apart. And the guy liked to get his little screwdrivers and picks and things like that and take everything out and look at the wiring and pull the chip out and the battery. So the battery has to be disposed of properly. Let me ask you something. There are plenty of websites that will tell you that it's very safe to take one of these lithium batteries and dispose of them in the garbage. Now, if you're some kind of greenie freak, I guess you'd have to look up on the net of how you would dispose of them. I don't know where you would take them, but he always talks about disposing of the battery somehow. There's many sites that it's very safe to just throw them in the garbage when they're done and used up. Okay, now that's going to go into a landfill, obviously, so do a lot of other things. Okay? But if you really want to recycle them somehow, I don't even have a clue how you would do that. And he doesn't tell you how to do that. I would assume he might have a video somewhere to do it, how to tell you. Alright, so let me get a hit off of one of these damn Vape Doom X mesh RTA tank. Banana from Pride. And it's on top of another topside light because I bought a bunch of them because I knew they would go away. Okay? And they're just perfect. They end up being the most perfect device there is to me. So the reason I like it is he takes everything apart and he analyzes it like some vaping device scientist. Okay? But the thing is with DJ LSB, and I'm going to leave him alone. I'm not really going to attack him that much because he's a very smart guy, and he owns a vape store along with that pig Jay Hayes. He's gone to the pens and pods too, and everybody knows that if you're really truly going to vape, that's not the way to do it, people. I mean, if you have to throw one in your pocket that you're going somewhere, I don't see why you want that such restricted flow, the little amount of vape coming out, you know. And you know, I like when I take a draw, I want it to come out. I want to taste it. You understand? And they're not going to do that for you, those pens and pods and things like that. Okay? So if you don't believe me on this, I hope you guys are writing some of this down when I tell you this stuff. or remembering it in your mind, because I know you're smart enough because you're on Rumble. Go to DJ LSB Vape's video about the Wafer 5000. The Wafer 5000 from Wotofo. Okay? He peels it apart again, you know, with his screwdriver. I don't know why he does that. But anyway, he tells you that Wotofo, who made the profile with Mr. Just Right One, the whole profile line, and it started the mesh industry and changed the world of baby. The Wafer 5000 by Wotofo is one of the most innovative devices for one of those little disposable pods. It's over almost all of them. Okay? Because the flavors in it are good, because they use Next Mesh in the bottom of it, and it's just, you know, a great disposable device. And he says that Wotofo is one of the most, and has been the most innovative vape company out there. So we'll move on. He's in the top of the list. There's 5 boxes, by the way, when you go there. Okay, now then you get to Gary Vapes. Gary Vapes, I'm not going to spend much time on Gary Vapes. He's a corporate whore. He's doing the vape pens and mods. So you've got the drift by now, right? Reviews on mods. He's the 5th block. When you type in vaping in the search engine and go, he's the 5th block that they put at the top, because he has, you know, these are leading followers, okay? Reviews on mods, and then it goes on to put some other things next to it. So he doesn't really have a name. He just says review on mods. It starts with. I like him. He's doing. I don't know if you wouldn't call it old school at all, but he's doing mods that mean things, e-juices that mean things, devices that work that he uses. So I'm going to recommend that he's okay. Reviews on mods. So anyway, there's my list. I had to write it down to make sure I knew who they all were. And I knew a few of them anyway, because I've been in this for 10 years. Okay, on YouTube. So anyway, I just wanted to get that rant out of my system about who's on top up there and who you should really be looking at. And I'm talking to everybody 50 and under with followers. Guys, if you watch my video, I'm coming to every one of your channels. And I'm going to post in the comments. I'm going to follow you. And I'm going to follow every one of them with 50 or below. Because every one of those people are taking money out of their own pocket after they've done extensive research and what they can buy to make them feel that they are vaping at a level they want and a taste that they want. Okay? And I'm going to follow them. And I'm asking you to follow me back so we can crush these corporate whores at the top up there. Okay? So it's a big struggle. It's going to be hard to do. But if we all stick together at the bottom, we'll crush these corporate whores at the top. And I guarantee you one thing. You're never going to see a vape pen, a vape pod, or some kind of disposable crap in my hand. Because they're crap. Okay? You should be doing, if you're going to vape, this is the way to vape. If you're going to vape with nicotine, and I don't suggest it, don't recommend it, don't want you to do it, you're more likely to get off of cigarettes, in my opinion, if you use one of these devices versus a vape pen. Okay, and then you can take your e-juices and order them down. So you start at 12 milligrams, 6 milligrams, you go down to 3 milligrams, then you go to 0, like I have in all of my e-juices. 0. And you're off cigarettes. And you know, the real truth is, I can put these vapes down tomorrow. Also, I'm not addicted to nicotine anymore. I can put them down and stop vaping if I want to. The reason why I don't, because I like the flavor, I like the vape. And it's America. God bless America. God bless Donald J. Trump. So with that rant being said, people, I'm coming to follow you people, and I've told you what I believe, and I told you the truth. And Vape Vapor says, hit my like button, hit my subscribe button, so I can keep coming to you and telling you what's the best thing to vape and why vaping these things is the best way to vape. Okay, so I'm signing off now. Vape Vapor's gone. Out of here.